Hey everyone, can you hear me okay? Sorry that I'm late. I was trying to get everything together. See, there's been a lot of comments here. Reality and music. Allison. Hey Buff, how's it going? Hey Cindy, I don't think I've seen you before. Hey Anna, Anna made it. How's it going? Yeah, she has a sister, but I don't think they're going on good terms. She probably does have some stories. Hey Marco, what's up, man? How's it going? All right, so this is my Pacer monitor account. And I have most of the documents. I have everything before September 12th here. If you see this icon, that means I have purchased it, and all I got to do is click on it and it'll appear. But like right here, for example, when the icon's black, that means I don't have it. Like I would have to purchase it. I didn't get these because these are sealed. The voicemails are sealed because that's what we really wanted was to listen to all the voicemails. And I do have, because yesterday I purchased this one, the stay. So if I click on it, and it will come up. Oh no, this is so annoying. It pops up on another screen, and this will only let me display. Oh, this is good. This is not good. I'm not going to be able to do this. Yeah, because I would have to cut off every time I switched to a new document. Any these browsers are they're all so different. You wouldn't think so. Safari, Firefox, and Chrome are all so different. Firefox, no problem. I could have as many tabs as I wanted, but then for some reason, Firefox just stopped working on the screen share. So I uploaded Chrome. Now I can screen share if I use Chrome, but I can't screen share on Firefox or on Safari. And I don't know why Safari, which is Apple's browser, is so incompatible with so many websites. Yeah, it's only Apple. So it's only like 60% of computers out there, not that many. I don't know if it's 60%, but it's a lot. It's probably a third, maybe a half. I mean, Apple is major. So you would think that their browser would be as good as Firefox or Chrome. You would think it maybe even be better because Apple products cost more. I have so many problems with Safari. So now I'm going to have to just find one exhibit at a time now. I'm not going to be able to navigate through this very well. You know what though? Hang on, let's see. Okay. Stop sharing. Okay, now bring it back up. Okay, now I can decide which one. Okay. So now you can see a document here. So that's what I'm going to have to do between every time I cut one off. I'm going to have to stop my share screen because it won't simply just let me navigate through the tabs like Firefox did. And I don't understand because Chrome is supposed to be the one this operates on the best. No, Firefox is a browser. I'm not using Firefox. Firefox would not allow me to share the screen at all. And I have no idea why. Because it was working perfectly before. You have a Start TV? What's a Start TV? I don't like all these smart devices. Our brains are supposed to be smart. Supposed to be. I don't need to. I mean, how lazy are we now? We can't even. Before it was like, well, I need a remote control. Now it's like, I don't need. I'm too lazy for the remote control. I've got to use my voice now. TV, power on. TV, power on. Damn it. I've got to reach over here and grab the remote now. Power on. Yep. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Yep, I think I'm gonna make a few more. Hopefully I catch more views than my last one. But I mean, I still have a lot of documents to go over. And I was planning to do that before the trial. And now it appears that the trial may be off, which is what I said was going to happen at the beginning of this, insane lawsuit. I said, there's no way she's going to win anything. But then enter Piers Morgan to build her case and get a lot of momentum going. And then money hungry attorneys. And now all of a sudden they say they've got a case. So I was like, okay, well, they're going to trial. So I started prepping to make all these videos. And now it's like, now it looks like it's in vain. Unless they do end up going to trial. Yep. You better never miss another one again, or you're going to have to go to confession. Exactly. This AI, man. I got to tell you, forgive me if you're one of these people, but people are so dumb embracing AI. Do you not realize what AI is here for? It's not our friend. It's here to replace us. And we're so dumb as a society, we're embracing it like it's good. You ever heard of a movie called The Terminator? It's not here to help us. Hey, Jen. Oh, I've already got 10 likes. Well, that's not bad. If I have 12 in chat and 10 likes, that's pretty good. both parties agreed to the postponement. Are you talking about the trial? So you think there is going to be a trial? It's just going to be delayed? Yep. You saw that video I made, didn't you, Allison? I made a video about that yesterday, if you haven't seen it. $11 likes. That's pretty good. Appreciate that. Yeah, it is. Oh, wait till you start seeing some of the things. What is it? Damien, that has been begging me for months to go over this. And now that I finally had a chance to do it, man, there's some funny. The one part that cracked me up was the part, I'll get to it, where Fiona threatens. She threatens to sue Laura Wray. If you've seen the declaration, the exhibits, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll get to that. Or I don't know how far I'm going to get today because I've been up since like 4 a.m. So I don't know how long I'm going to last, but yeah, I may do one tomorrow, because even if I am able to. Hold on, I'm catching my words. I'm going to rephrase that. Even if I am able to get through a lot of it, today, there's still a lot more to go over. So I think I may do another stream tomorrow or Sunday. And I think I'm going to try to make a couple more videos over the next week. I think aside means something is yet to happen. Yeah. Here's my thing, though. Because Netflix had put in a couple appeals and they got denied. But the last one, apparently they put in, as we see here, they granted a stay, which I'm still trying to learn exactly what that means. Proceedings in this court have been stayed on October 3rd, 2024, and are stayed until the exhaustion of defendant's appeal of the court's denial of defendant's special motion to strike. All pretrial deadlines and dates in the trial date are vacated. So I'm saying that if Netflix was able to get this done, I mean, I've been wrong before, but I don't think she's going to have much of a leg to stand on to get this trial rescheduled. Because if she had a leg to stand on to have it rescheduled, then I don't think it would have ever got delayed in the first place, because it would have been too much substance. Yep. All right, I'm going to get started in just a minute. Nope, not behind your back. You got to keep up. You know, sometimes I make a video every 4 months. Yeah, because this stay was granted October 3rd, and that last video I made before I was on a bit of a hiatus was October 29th, and that got 100,000 views. So evidently people were still paying close attention to it. And I hadn't heard anything new. And now it turns out that, almost a month before I made that video, the Richard Gadd Strikes Back video on October 29th, this stay was in effect that I didn't even know about. Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, it is. It's also just a blatant display of mental illness. And if you think about it, the most fascinating people in the spotlight have some type of mental illness or personality disorder. I guess just being normal and being sane is boring. Like, for example, Kanye West, for example, that guy's clearly mentally ill. So what I don't understand is why so many people put so much stock in the things he says and does. Can you not tell this guy is not mentally right in the head? So you're like measuring him the exact same way you would measure someone who is not mentally ill. But that's what happens. People see celebrities and think, hey, they're rich, so they must be normal. I'm trying to not say the wrong thing. That's why I stumbled just now. Because I was going to say most of them, but I'm like, not most. I'm like half. No, not half. A lot. I'll just say a lot. Yep. She is bonkers off the wall. Yeah, that's what's amazing. How has she gotten away with this for so long? Okay. Yeah, but in this declaration, it has already been established. They already knew it was a bogus claim, and Fiona made it. So they already knew that. So based on that evidence that they knew that, why did they let this go on so long? Somewhere in California. Let me see. United States District Court, Central District of California. Abusive to his wife, Kanye. Honestly, I think Kanye means well. I just think he's mentally not right. And I think he's got narcissistic personality disorder. Like, he just can take anything and make it about himself. Which part? The part I just talked about from Laura Wray, that was submitted in July. So they had it in discovery. Yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and see if I can figure this out. All right. Let me present, share screen. Let's get back to, oh, you know what? No, hang on. Let me pull up the exhibit first. Okay, I think it's in July. Give me just a minute here. Declaration of Fiona Harvey. Got that as well. She has a declaration. Richard Gadd has a declaration. Laura Wray has a declaration. Richard Gadd's manager at the pub has a declaration. They hired a expert witness who submitted a declaration just talking about in her expert opinion that she does think Fiona is guilty of stalking in a lot of cases. Okay, give me a minute to find this here, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. I'm looking for the I think it was July 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Declaration on Netflix. That's the expert witness. Okay, where's Laura Wray's? Sorry, it's taking so long. When I was reading them, see, I have these downloaded on my computer. I was just going through my computer. I didn't even pull this site up. So that's why I'm scrambling to find this right now. Where is this? Hang on. I'm pulling up my file. That way I'll see what number it is. Okay, it looks like 26 according to this. Let me go down to 26. Okay, there's 26. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got it. Hey, give me 1 second. It sounds like somebody pulled up at my house. Hang on 1 second. All right, no one's there. I thought it might be Fiona for a minute. I thought Fiona might have showed. All right, here we go. Now let me get the letter that's okay. All right. I need to find the right exhibit. There was a specific one. Hang on, let me look through my files. Actually, I have it written down here. Okay. All right, I think this is it. Okay, here we go. Let me and here, let me stop sharing. This is such a pain. I'm gonna have to do this every time. that I need to go to a new document. All right. Here we go. This is the order of events. All right, here we go. Wednesday, October 8th, 1997. So I want everybody to think back. Where were you? 1997. Seinfeld was the biggest show on television. I remember this time. The Marlins, the Florida Marlins won the World Series. All right, here we go. I met Fiona. How do you pronounce that exactly? Because there's a lot of different ways. Is it Mir? I know everybody gets on me when I mispronounce words. Hang on one second. All right, I met Fiona Mir. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, too bad, because no one's told me the correct way to pronounce it. So I know it's not Mir, but whatever. To discuss a potential traineeship, I explained to her that we had not been considering taking on a trainee at this point, but that our workload meant that it was a possibility. Miss Mir said that she was working with a Graham Sykes of Sykes and Company doing conveyancing, and that Mr. Sykes had not signed her training contract, although she had been with the firm for 8 weeks. She expressed certain reservations about Mr. Sykes' firm and said that she did not like the staff. Oh, that's a big shocker. Wow. I wonder if she didn't get along with them for some reason. And that what she really wanted to do was employment law and or reparation. No, I thought Laura headhunted her, remember? Because Fiona's really good at employment law. She explained that she had got to a second interview with McKay Simon and Eden Bruh. Is that right? Hold on, I'm gonna go back to the comments. Eden Bruh. Is that right? Because boy, oh boy, I got like dozens of comments. It's not Edinburgh. Well, it looks like Edinburgh to me. Edinburgh, is that right? I'm looking at the comments. I need someone to confirm. Okay. Moo-er. Moo-er. Vet, you can't? Well, I can say bet. I bet you can't say bet. Ed in bra. Mooer. Edinburgh. Oh, or Edinburgh. Edinburgh? No, because people are telling me that was bruh. I'm trying to get right because I don't want all the UK people getting mad at me. I don't want Fiona getting mad at me. Okay, where was I? Y'all keep distracting me. I was kidding. Let me see here. Where was I? She explained that she had got to a second interview with McKay Simon in Edinburgh, but had not actually got the job. She seemed reasonably plausible and enthusiastic. She gave me a bit of a hard luck story about her family background and basically said that nobody had ever really given her a chance to make a go of things. She said that Sykes and Company were taking advantage of her because they were not even paying her the full going rate as a trainee. A few days before the meeting, she had even sent me a card congratulating me on my engagement to Jimmy Ray MP. Yeah, that's manipulation. I offered her a traineeship and asked her when she would like to come and join us. Wow. See, Laura did not even have to do that. That shows Laura had good intentions from the beginning. She said she thought there might be a bit of a scene at Sykes. I wonder why there would be a scene. Yeah, I'm sure they would cause a scene trying to get her to stay, begging her to stay. You know, everybody would grab a limb and just pull her, keeping her from going out the door because they need her. I mean, she's a top-rate lawyer. She said she thought there might be a bit of a scene and that they would not be happy about her leaving. Yeah, somehow I doubt that. I think it's the opposite. I think they'd be celebrating. And I told her to telephone me later on to let me know when she would be able to join us. Okay, this was October 8th. She did phone me later in the day to say she would come and join us on Monday, 13th October. So here we go. Fiona's first day. Fiona Meir joined us. Meir, or is it Meir? Meir. Is that right? I need to learn how to pronounce these words right. When I see words that I can't pronounce, what I typically do is Google them, and then I break them down in syllables until I can get the pronunciation right. There's a lot of words in these letters that I had a problem pronouncing. And I have a mild speech impediment also. So I can really jack words up quick. Okay, Meir. That's what I'm going with. That's correct, isn't it? Meir. Oh, wow. You were born twice. So I guess you were born again. No, M-U-R. M-U-R. It's not M-U-R. I give you smile. I give you smile time. Okay. Smile Time. That should be the new name of my channel. I'm going to change it. Smile Time. Mirror. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to say Fiona Murr. Fiona Murr. No, I think it's like Mir. I think that's what I'm saying here. Like Buff just said. Moor. Mower. I know I'm saying Mir. Is that not right? Mir. Mir. More. I wish it was more. Then it would just be a lot easier. All right. Let's see. We're going. Here we go. October 13th. Fiona Moore joined us, was introduced to the staff, and was given a desk in the area where we deal with motor claims. She was very fortunate to get this. Tuesday, the next day, I was over in Edinburgh because I had a proof in the court of session. Our practice accountant, Carol Ann, telephoned me to say that Fiona had come in and asked for a sub. Okay, that this is exactly what the story she told on Piers Morgan. Asked for a sub and told her she wanted her wages paid in. Yeah, she's been there for 24 hours. It's time to get paid. You know, typically people don't wait more than 24 hours for their first paycheck. Carol Ann explained that it was not our practice to give any staff a sub or to pay wages in cash. And Carol Ann expressed surprise to Fiona that she would ask for something like this when she had only been with us a day. I said to Carol Ann that I would not mention it to Fiona as I did not wish the subject to be up again for discussion. I did not want to embarrass Fiona. And I bet you at that time, Laura thought that was just going to be an isolated incident. Not a big deal. Well, boy, the best is yet to come, right? Okay, here we go. Day 3, Wednesday the 15th. I was working in my office in the afternoon when Fiona burst through the door in a frantic state. I asked her what was wrong. She said there was a man at reception who would not leave until she paid him for a repair to her car. I asked her what this had to do with me. Her response was that she did not have enough money to pay for the repair, and she had borrowed money from her aunt. But when she had looked at the money, there was not actually sufficient for the bill. She was tearful. She started to explain that she had all sorts of financial difficulties and said that she wanted a sub on her wages. I said that this was not the kind of thing that we did and that I knew she had asked the previous day and been told no, and that I was surprised that she was asking once again. I said I did not want to encourage other members of staff to ask for subs on their wages, but that I would help her personally. I ascertained from her that she had approximately 200, is that 200 pounds? I'm guessing 200 pounds. And the repair was approximately 250 pounds. And that she had no money whatsoever to live on until she would get paid 3 weeks later. I said that I would personally pay for the car repair out of my own pocket and that she should use the remaining funds that she had to keep herself going to the end of the month. She then went off to pay the man from the garage and then came back up to my room again after that. We had a long discussion about Fiona's financial affairs, and she told me personal details of her family life as an explanation why her parents would not be prepared to assist her in any way. She explained that she had taken out various loans when she was a student and thereafter to enable her to look for legal work, and that she had got into financial difficulty. But I don't know why I said but. It clearly says she. She was a bit vague on the details, but okay, there. But gave me a copy of a letter from the NatWest Bank wherein the bank manager stated that she had betrayed their trust in not telling them about other loans that she had outstanding. Fiona was very tearful and upset. I said to her that if she wanted me to, I would be prepared to go and speak to her bank manager and see if we could make any proposals which would keep them off her back and enable her to concentrate on her traineeship. She said she would be grateful if I would do this. How do you mess this up if you're Fiona? She should not even have got the job in the first place. Laura gave her the job, gave her a loan that she didn't even make her repay, and now she's going to speak to her bank trying to help her get the loan rates down or whatever. Is that not like a dream boss? If you have a job, don't you want your boss to be like Laura Wray? How do you mess if you can't make it work with someone who's this flexible? You're not gonna be able to make it work at anybody. I was in London. Oh, and then she's on a tirade talking about how bad Laura is. I was in London on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of October, and in Edinburgh on Monday, the 20th October, and did not have a chance to phone her bank manager. Eventually, I contacted the bank manager, Malcolm Smith, and arranged to meet him at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 23rd of October. Okay, so here we go. Thursday the 23rd. Okay. When did she start? Was it the 13th? Okay, 13. Yeah, because we skipped some days. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Okay. Yeah, we skipped. Because I was thinking this was the next day, but this was actually 8 days later. Yeah, because she said she was out for a few days. Okay, so at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 would be the weekend. So the 20th would be the next week. So yeah, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so this is her 9th day working there. I met with Malcolm Smith at the bank. I was with them for approximately an hour and a half. He seemed to be a very nice man who was keen to help. And although the repayment Fiona had agreed to make was 136 pounds per month, he agreed that if a regular payment was being made, preferably direct from ourselves on Fiona's behalf, then the bank would accept 30 pounds per month in the first year, and that this would be reviewed every year so that her salary and ability to pay increase, the repayments would increase so that she could eventually free herself of the debt. He said he was worried about the other banks and what attitude they might take, as the list I had prepared of Fiona's income and expenditure indicated that her budget would have to be very tight to enable her to live. I said to Mr. Smith that I would, okay, what is it? Is that liege? Okay, I'm coming to the comments. How do I pronounce that? Is that liege? Yeah, That's another thing. The bank, after talking with Laura, was willing to work with her and make the payments more affordable. Fiona had the perfect boss in the perfect situation. All she had to do was just not act insane. Liaise, is that it? Yeah, I'm going to be here forever if I keep going over all the words. Yeah, but that's what I do when I'm reading through stuff. I always sound out words and try to learn how to pronounce them correctly. See, by the time I'm making my video, I've already done all that. That's why you don't hear me fumbling words on my videos, because I prep and then I record. Here, it's just freestyle. I'm improvising. So I make all kinds of errors. Okay, liaise. I said to Mr. Smith that I would liaise with the other banks and see what arrangements we could come to, and that I would telephone him in a few days. I returned to the office and told Fiona the content of the conversation I had with the bank manager. She immediately volunteered that she had spent the afternoon on the phone to Bruce Ritchie at the Law Society discussing whether she would be able to get her practicing certificate if she simply went bankrupt. Okay. I don't think this is worth bankruptcy. Okay, I could pay $30 a month. Nope, I'm going to go bankrupt instead. I told her this was a stupid thing to do, as I thought it highly unlikely she would obtain a practicing certificate having gone bankrupt, and that this would make life very difficult for her in years to come if she ever wanted to enter a partnership, and that since the banks were prepared to be reasonable, there was absolutely no necessity for bankruptcy. I also said I was surprised that she would make such an inquiry when at the very same moment I was personally using my time trying to negotiate her out of her difficulties. That's another thing. This was during business hours. Laura Wray is extremely busy with her law firm, but she took the time to make an appointment to go to the bank on Fiona's behalf. And now Fiona's, well, I think I'm going to just do bankruptcy. If you can't succeed, this looks like a godsend. This looks like God ushered her right here into the perfect law firm with the perfect boss who was bending over backwards to help her. Most bosses would just be like, yeah, sorry, I don't think this is going to work out, which obviously eventually is what Laura did say, but only after Fiona just was so unreasonable, there was nothing left for Laura to do. At one point, I explained what the bank manager had said. She snapped, "You're repeating yourself." I know all about that from these people that have mental illnesses, personality disorders, whatever. They would get an attitude so quick, even if you're trying to help them. I expressed surprise she should respond in this way, and that I found this a cheeky remark. She said she had not meant it that way and didn't understand what I meant. How's that hard to understand? You're repeating yourself. How is that not cheeky? Actually, I would say it's more bitchy, more so than cheeky. She said she had not meant it that way and didn't understand what I meant. I did not press matters, but said to her that I thought it might be a good idea to sell her car since it is a 10-year-old Panda and clearly a liability, what is panda? Is that slang for like a crappy car or something? At first, I thought it was the name of a car. I've never heard of a panda. But then when she says a liability, hold on, I'm going back to the comments. Yeah, I can't look at the comments and the document at the same time because it's on separate tabs. It's okay. It is okay. It is a type of a car. Wow. Fiat. Okay. Yeah, I know Fiats are pretty small. Exactly. You're repeating yourself. Should I start reading this? And okay, vote in the comment section. I am starting to feel myself getting kind of tired. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to last. But I should be able to go for another few minutes. And I mean, I can pick back up on another time. Unless I get a second wind of energy. I feel like, I don't know if most of you know or not, but I have diabetes. And so my blood sugar is just kind of, I I don't take prescription medication because I'm afraid that it's going to damage my kidney. And if it damages my kidney, I'm pretty much dead at that point because there's nothing you can do about it other than a kidney transplant. And I wouldn't get I wouldn't be able to get a kidney transplant. But my blood sugar, I changed my diet and that helped a lot. But when I get tired, I get very lightheaded. I'm gonna eat something real quick. I'm gonna get a little sugar right now because I feel like my blood sugar is getting a little low. If I do this, I think it might give me more energy. Give me just a minute. All right. I'll see if I get some more energy. Let's see if that helps or not. Yeah, I've been up since 4 a.m. So it's 6 p.m. now. So it's 14 hours later. Usually I'm winding down. But I did the live stream at this time. Because I checked my analytics and it said that this was the time that I have the most subscribers on. And I know that when I do live streams, I get a lot of comments saying that they missed it. So I'm trying to do it at a time where more people are on. All right. All right. Oh, I was going to say, let me know in the comments. Y for yes, N for no. That's all you got to put. Who wants me to start reading in Fiona voice? Y or N? Just take it to a vote. No. No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 3-3. Which time are you referring to? Now, I know in the video, when I was doing that voice, I did lose some viewers, but I didn't think I lost viewers on a live stream. Are you talking about the video or did it happen on a live stream? Yeah, that was on a video a long time ago. And I mean, that was when this story was trending. It's not trending. So right now, the only people watching are like people who actually like watching me. So a lot of the people who like to watch me like to hear me do the voice. So all the people that like before complaining about it, I don't even recall any of them ever commenting again. Like they were done. Yeah, but that was because didn't you say on the last video to do the voice in the comment section? Didn't you say that? Well, I mean, there's gonna be the opportunity for me to get down with this voice coming up soon. Exactly. Yep. There's just something I feel like there's something we're missing right now. When you said read along, you know what I thought you said at first glance? I thought you said sing along. Huh. Because I think that's what we want, isn't it? To sing along? I wonder if we need some music up in here right now. And we need a really good singer. And it's got to be a classic song. It has to be something great.
having lunch. Don't be fooled by the rocks that it comes. I'm just chilling from clock. Don't be fooled by the rocks that it comes. I'm just chilling from the clock. Having lunch. Don't be fooled by the rocks that it comes. I'm just chilling from clock.
Oh my goodness. That was incredible. Now that's what everybody wanted to hear. I could see her arguing with people that she has a great voice. Could you see that? Yeah, it's not. That's what I don't understand. Why did she pick that song? That's something else that was confusing to me. Because I didn't picture her someone liking like crap pop like that, manufactured garbage. That song is so bad. And leave it to Fiona to make it even worse. All right. Let's see. Where was I? All right. Here we go. The panda car. That's where we were. But said to her that I thought it might be a good idea to sell her car since it is a 10-year-old Panda and clearly a liability, and that this would give her some additional cash to keep going and reduce her outgoings. I said that I had mentioned this to the bank manager and told him that I would discuss this with her, and that both he and I were concerned that her finances were so tight that if the car broke down, she would simply be back to square one. And the bank had made it clear there was no chance of her getting an overdraft with them. At this point, Fiona hit the roof. She started screaming and shouting and crying and became quite hysterical. I was completely taken aback at what seemed to be a total change of personality, and I was not able to calm her down. She started to laugh Okay. See, when I see that, I'm thinking, okay, manically. No. Maniacally. See, I'm thinking maniac when I see this word, but it comes from maniac, but it's pronounced differently. Maniacally. She started to laugh maniacally and began to berate the bank manager, saying that what he didn't know was that her boyfriend keep her away from him. Fiona, you cannot have him. He's off limits. What he didn't know is that her boyfriend had lost his job and that the bank wouldn't be getting any more money off him. I said to her I was a little concerned about her attitude towards financial matters and that as a lawyer, she could not look at things in this way, and that she had to face up to her responsibilities and that everyone was bending over backwards to help her. She then ran out of the room crying. Crying, and I am told that thereafter she went to my associate Ross Pickleton's room to cry on his shoulder, and started to tell him all sorts of things about her family, which Ross thought were of an intensely personal nature in which he did not wish to hear. Oh, come on. Fiona doesn't do stuff like that. She never goes off and starts saying things that are too personal. Is this the last day? I think this is the last day. Maybe this is it. Not long, as I had been concerned by Fiona's behavior on the previous day, and as I required to obtain references and respect of all my staff for the purposes of our fidelity insurance policy, I telephoned Graham Sykes, who was Fiona's previous employer. Now, there is no way that he's going to give a bad reference about Fiona. He was begging her to stay. He was upset when she left. He was not there, and I left a message for him to call me. I had to see clients in our Edinburgh office and was hosting a joint meeting for Apple and Avma at the Scandic Hotel, Edinburgh. I received a call mid-morning from Carol Ann, my practice accountant, to say that there had been some terrible scenes in the office that morning involving Fiona Meir. She had shouted at Graham Dunlop, my assistant, who had been trying to help her with a testing clause, and she apparently said to him in front of a number of people at the top of her voice, "Don't you ever speak to me like that in front of people again!" Graham is a quiet, mild-mannered young man, and he was somewhat taken aback. She had also shouted at Karen, who is one of my secretaries, and demanded that Karen do a piece of her work immediately and drop everything else she was doing for me. Well, who are you going to listen to, Karen? You going to listen to Laura, or are you going to listen to Fiona? You know, listen to a partner of the firm or the trainee? I was advised by Carol Ann that Fiona had stormed into Ross Pickleton's office room and announced that she had period pains and was going home. "I'm having period pains. I'm going home." At around the same time, however, another member of staff overheard her saying that she had had a call from Graham Sykes' office, that I had been in touch with them, and that she was angry about this and was going straight round there to sort them out. She left the office. About an hour and a half later, Carol Ann phoned me back to tell me that Fiona had reappeared at the office and was overheard to say to someone on the phone that she had been round at her bank and that the bank manager had told her to get her backside back into the office. You can't talk to Fiona like that. Fiona doesn't need this crap. Fiona can just get her music career underway and become a multimillionaire superstar. Carol, I just visualized in my head her going on America's Got Talent, or what's the British version called? singing Jenny from the Block in front of Simon Cowell and Piers Morgan. Carol Ann advised me that she had then announced she was coming with Graham Dunlop, my assistant, to the joint meeting in Ed. Oh my! Can you see that? That's a movie scene for a comedy. Can you see that? Laura's sitting there in the meeting room, and all of a sudden Fiona barges in. "Laura, I need to talk to you about my bank." This can't wait till Monday. I was concerned about this as I did not want her arriving at an important meeting and causing a scene. I was not in a position where I could speak to her at the meeting, as there were a number of important people there from England and many senior Scottish solicitors. All right. So here we go, Monday. I met with Carol Ann and Ross to discuss the events of Friday and to decide on the best course of action. The best course of action, you need to promote her. You need to make her partner ASAP. I was advised by Ross that in addition to the mood swings, rudeness, and difficult behavior with the staff, she had also behaved unprofessionally with regards to clients. We market our personal injury specialization throughout Scotland, and Fiona was well aware of this. However, when a potential client had phoned from Aberdeen, having sustained serious injuries as a passenger in a taxi, she had been heard to say that that was not the kind of work that we did, and advised the client to go to David Burnside in Aberdeen, who is one of our competitors, and gave them his phone. Wow. Wow. Really good. Gave them his phone number. She had also not properly recorded about 20 cases on our marketing database. Great. So now somebody's going to have to go in and clean all those up behind her. So that's going to take more company time. Ross also advised me of another incident where he was having to tread carefully with a difficult client. Fiona tried to take the phone off Ross, who was speaking to this client, as she said that she wanted to sort him out. See, this needs to be a sitcom. Okay, they need to do a Baby Reindeer Part 2 and base it off this. I can write the screenplay if Richard Gadd's not available. I mean, Richard Gadd could write it. If not, I can write it because I can turn this into a screenplay easily. And in case you didn't know, I wrote screenplays. I used to write screenplays. So I was close to getting one sold in 2008, but they wanted me to sign over creative control, and I did not want to do that. So I didn't get it sold and never got another offer. I thought I was going to get more offers. They wanted to change the ending, and I did not want them to. So now I kind of regret that and wish I had sold it. Yeah, there's more and more to this too. Like this is the first act. So we're about to get, after she gets terminated, that's when the first act transitions into the second act. I called Fiona in to see me and explained to her that I did not feel things were working out, and in the circumstances, I could not extend a traineeship to her. I explained my reasons for this in tactful fashion, but once again, she hit the roof. She said that she would make me pay for this, that the staff are all useless, and that she had been told by various people she named, but who I never heard of that. But who I have never heard of that, she ought not come to work for us. Let me say that again. She said that she would make me pay for this, that the staff were all okay. I'm a little confused by that part there, but anyways, Not a big deal. But who had never heard of that, she ought not come and work for us. I asked her specifically about the incident involving a client in Aberdeen, and she said Ross was making this up. I went into more detail about it, and she said he's lying. Oh, all right. I did it. I expressed the view to her that her conduct was less than professional. I said to her that I would pay her a full month's wages, even though she was only due 2 weeks' wages, and that she could keep the loan I had already made to her. She refused to give me her national insurance number so that we could not fill in any of the relevant paperwork. She then ran from my room screaming, that would be a funny scene, that she was not going to leave and that she was calling the law society. Uh-oh. She went to Ross Pickleton's room and started to phone the law society number. I followed her with Carol Ann and said to her that she was making a scene and I would rather she simply leave quietly, and I put the phone down. She then went into the room, which she shared with a number of other staff, and started shouting again, making comments about me, about how useless the other members of staff were, how much everybody in the legal world disliked me personally. She then, in front of myself, Ross, Carol Ann, and 3 others, threatened my fiance, shouting, Jimmy Ray will rue a day. What does Jimmy Ray have to do with anything? Jimmy Ray will rue a day. She demanded at the top of her voice to know why it was that assistants left. Okay. She demanded at the top of her voice to know why it was that assistants left the firm. Assistants aren't supposed to be there forever. So she's trying to throw this in Laura's face. Why have your assistants all left? She demanded at the top of her voice to know why it was that assistants left the firm. And I said to her that people leave for all sorts of reasons, including career development. And I was not clear what her point was exactly. Yeah, people move on. They get promoted. They go to different jobs. She proceeded to stuff various books into plastic bags and to scream and shout. Some of the girls in the office were shaking and upset and thought that she was going to attack myself or some of the other staff physically. Carol Ann and I escorted her to the door, where she once again started to scream and shout abuse at me. She kept saying she was not going to leave until I gave her back the papers that she had given me regarding all her debts with the various banks. But even when I gave this to her, she still was not keen to leave. Eventually, she did go. Then about 10 minutes later, she telephoned me saying that I still had her training contract and she wanted it back. I said to her I would post it out to her first class that night, and I did. Later in the day, she was spotted circling the office in her car. Okay. So if you've seen the last video that I put out, the Laura Wray, Fiona Harvey one, you'll hear Fiona on the email admitting that she called police on Laura Wray, but she tried to say that it was because she was trying to get her books back and her certificate back. Well, right here, Laura said she mailed it to her overnight. So there you go. So no, Laura was not keeping Fiona's property. She telephoned me, Fiona telephoned, saying she wanted her training contract. I said to her I will post it out to her first class that night, and I did. So there you go. So Fiona, I know this is a twist no one saw coming, but I think Fiona may have been lying on that email. I mean, we don't know for sure because Fiona is, a pretty stand-up citizen. Tuesday, 28th. Fiona had left a message on the answer phone at the office, which was to the effect that she could be contacted at Levy and McRae through Bill McCraith. She requested that we send the car accident claim that we were dealing with on her behalf to Levy and McRae and said that 2 textbooks were missing and that she wanted them in her entrance certificate to be sent to Levy and McRae. I had already sent the entrance certificate to her the previous day. There you go. Then around mid-morning, reception called to tell me that Fiona Meir wanted to speak to me and was in the office. I asked Carol Ann to go down and bring her up to my room. I got a call from Carol Ann saying that Fiona did not now want to see me in person. I went down to reception where Fiona thrust the wages check I had given her in my face. She demanded that I give her cash as she said she would not be able to cash the check. I said that this was not my problem and it was up to her what she did about it. But given I had been speaking to her bank about her financial affairs, I could not very well go behind their back and assist her in evading her responsibilities. She became abusive and I asked her to leave. She continued to be abusive, and Carol Ann pointed out to her that we had actually paid her far more than she was due, and that if we had paid her only for the week she had worked and deducted the loan that I had given her, that she would have been left with practically nothing. Fiona retorted angrily that she wanted something for, okay, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I don't think I've seen this word before. How do you pronounce that? Palladium? I don't know what that word is. What's it mean? I'm going to go to comments in a minute when I get to a breaking point. And I want to know, I want to see that definition or something close to it. I asked her to leave again, and as she got out to the street, she turned around and started to shout at me as there were quite a number of people passing, and no doubt she wanted to cause me maximum embarrassment. Hey, that could be the name of the next Fiona Harvey movie, Maximum Embarrassment. She shouted at the top of her voice on quite a number of occasions that I was nothing but a psychotic tart. She also shouted, "If Jimmy Ray marries you, he'll be sorry." I said to her she was doing herself no favors acting in this way and told her not to come near the office again. Yeah, that'll work. I'm sure she'll listen. Okay, I'm going to come to the comments for a minute. I need to take a break. Yep, what's the word? Well, that's why you got me reading it for you. So you can just sit back. I'm just looking over the comments, make sure no one had asked me a question or anything. I try to answer their questions best I can. Hey, Sky, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Sharon. Hi, from Edinburgh. Okay. Welcome to the chat. Mostly ladies in the chat get into gossip. We got some guys in here too. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I would love to see that interaction. Britain's Got Talent. That's it. I knew UK's Got Talent didn't sound right. But yeah. Is that the one Piers Morgan's on? Britain's Got Talent? I only saw like the commercials. I never really watched it. I have watched a couple clips on YouTube every once in a while if there's an contestant that seems like it may be interesting, but that's rare. Remember that she said that she sings like Susan Boyle? Wow, the delusion. Yep. And that's probably how it is most places. Oh, what do you do now? What court is the hearing at? Some district court in California is where the that's what it says on those documents. Spell that word out here. Which word? She's more like Lorraine Kelly. Which word? I don't even remember. There's so many. All right, let me get back to it. Where was I? I'm starting at the top. Okay. I contacted Bill McCreth of Living McCrae, who she had said was acting on her behalf. Bill McCreth advised me that she had telephoned him from a phone box and that the conversation had lasted less than 40 seconds. I want to hear that. I wish he had a recording of that. And he had told her that they were not interested in acting for her and that they did not do any legal aid work. Wow. I don't know why he didn't want to jump at that opportunity to do free pro bono work for her. Bill told me that this is only prior involvement with Fiona was that an advocate friend of his had asked him to speak to a potential trainee who was having difficulty finding employment, and that he had spoken to her for about 20 minutes, but there was never any question of him offering her a job. He reiterated to me that they were certainly not acting on her behalf and had no intention of doing so. I wrote out to Fiona on 28th October, 1997. Again, I was told she had been seen that afternoon circling the office in her car. So here we go to 29th. I was in the office in Glasgow in the morning and then went across to Edinburgh for a meeting in the afternoon. Around 4:30 p.m., when I was on a train coming back, I was contacted by Ross, who said that Peter McCann, who is one of our correspondents from the Edinburgh office, had been on the telephone and was very upset because Fiona had telephoned him. Apparently, she had said that we in the office disliked Peter and had made disparaging remarks about him, all of which was completely untrue. She also apparently had the cheek to go on and mention to him some incident from years before involving Arabian swords and was apparently critical of him. He set the record straight in his own inimitable fashion, but he telephoned Ross to express his surprise that these comments were being made, and Ross reassured him that this was nonsense and gave him some of the background. Peter also warned Ross that he should be careful for his own safety because some of the comments made by her about Ross were of a threatening nature. Okay, and this is the woman who runs around and boasts about her innocence. You threaten somebody, you should get in trouble with that. Police are always like, no, they want to wait. They want to wait till you're clubbed in the head. And you're either dead or half dead. I mean, if someone just uses a generic expression, I could strangle him. He makes me so mad, whatever. But when you have a pattern of consistently threatening people, that needs to be dealt with lawfully. I immediately organized for the office to send a fax from myself to Peter apologizing for Fiona's behavior and saying that I would telephone him. The decorator who was working in the office saw Fiona circling the office in her car late that afternoon, and she apparently waved at him and then ducked her head. Why would you wave and then hide? They already saw you. You waved at them. So if you waved, why would you then go and hide your head? Fiona logic. Hashtag Fiona logic. I telephoned Peter McCann to apologize for what had happened and to reassure him that there was no truth in the allegations being made. Peter reiterated to me concerns about Ross's safety given what had been said to him by Fiona, and also said that if she turned up at his office, she would be shown the door immediately. I mentioned to him that Fiona had described Peter's associate, Terry Ruddy, as a close personal friend of hers, and Peter told me that when he mentioned this friendship to Terry, he had blanched and said that he hardly knew her. Okay, I pronounced that blanched. Not even sure what that means, blanched. There's a lot of different terminology in the UK, in the US. We speak the same language, but we use it a lot differently. Then in the lunchtime mail, I received a letter dated 29th October 97 from Fiona, which is highly defamatory of myself and the firm. The contents are nonsense. She claims once again that Levy and McRae are acting on her behalf and says in it that she is sending copies of this letter to Donald Dewar and Norman Godman, MP. It should be pointed out at this stage that Fiona told us that she was a delegate to Donald Dewar's constituency, and she regularly reported in the few weeks she was with us that she had been on the telephone to Donald the previous evening and had given him advice on certain. Yeah, so she's got the MP on speed dial, and they talk, and he seeks her counsel on matters. Yeah, because she's got such a cool head on her, so knowledgeable. Uh-oh. Did Fiona come in here? Cloak, are you still in here or did you leave? Yeah. Yeah, it can be it's more complex than it needs to be. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me see something. Okay. I'm going to Google. Let's go to Google real quick. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out more detail on this trial. Because if this trial isn't going to happen, I need to make a video and talk about it. Okay, let me look in here. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, here we go. Has a judge allowed Fiona Harvey to sue Netflix over the series? Okay, here we go. Judge Gary Klausner denied Netflix's motion to dismiss Fiona Harvey's defamation lawsuit against the streamer. But when you check the update, it says that it has a stay. It says the trial date has been vacated. Okay, UNF, I know we were talking about it yesterday. Does the trial date being vacated just mean it's going to be postponed? Is the trial vacated or the trial date vacated? Because that's a big difference. Let's pull this back up. Let me let's type this. Is Fiona Harvey and Netflix going to trial? Now, last time I checked this, something came up and gave more detail. Let me see if I can, maybe I need to ask the right question. Are Fiona Harvey and Netflix still going to trial? Okay, like I said, these browsers act different. I guess that the information is not just popping up like it did. Wait, here's something from the Daily Mail. This says 8 hours ago. Let me see. February 28th, Netflix hit back and Baby Reindeer 120 million as they claim cheeky romantic music meant viewers would have known it wasn't a true story. Okay, let's go over this. Let me check the comments real quick. Okay, I will try to remember to do that after I read this article. Hang on, I need to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, because my kidney. Wanted to see if I could zoom in. All right, we'll go over this when I get back. I'll be back in just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I thought if the trial was done away with, I thought for sure she'd be back on Facebook. Yeah, probably so. Okay, let's see what this yes, she really is a stalker. Absolutely. Well, you should ask the lawyer and try to get some details and for the next live stream. I think I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow. Got a minute because there's a lot more to cover on our declaration, but you can tell I'm starting to fade out. Like my voice is getting hoarse, and I'm really tired. But I'll stay on a few more minutes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can always uh, drop a comment on like my most recent video and let me know the details. Okay. How long is this article? Uh-oh, there we go. She's watching it. She hasn't seen it, remember? Man, this is a long article for me to go over when I'm so tired. Okay, let's see if we can get to this. Netflix is arguing that cheeky music and ironic scenes should save it from being liable for 120 million. Okay, wait, hold on. 120 million. The other was 170. So evidently, part of this lawsuit got dropped, but the defamation case is still going on, and that was the biggest component of the lawsuit, right? There was like punitive damages and then defamation, and the punitive damages is what they threw out. Is that right? I mean, this document that talks about the stay. Let's see. I mean, is that the whole trial? Let me look it up again. Okay. Okay, there we are. Proceedings in this court have been stayed as of October 3rd and are stayed until the exhaustion of defendant's appeal of the court's denial of the defendant's special motion to strike. All pre-trial deadlines and dates and the trial date are vacated. Okay. Yeah, I am. I'm fading. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. That's right. But does that mean that the trial's off or that it's postponed? See, that's where the confusion comes in. See, all this legal jargon, everything is just so slippery because you can word it any way you want to make it mean anything you want almost. Okay, well, if that's the case, why doesn't it just say, okay, the case is over, and then if she wants to resue, or I mean, then she can do that, a different lawsuit. But it doesn't say that this one has been discarded or terminated or anything. It just said the trial date's been vacated. It doesn't say the trial's been vacated. It says the trial date's been vacated. All pre-trial deadlines and dates in the trial date are vacated. But it doesn't say the trial is vacated. See, that's where the confusion comes in. Yeah, see, that's contradictory right there. Vacate means something void, well, that would be empty, or to set it aside. That's two different things. Void is empty. Setting something aside, like this, if I set this aside, this is not a void. This is a void. I can't set this to the side. There's nothing here. This is void of any substance. This is air. Can't set it to the side. I can set this to the side. Why? Because it's not a void. So that's a contradictory statement to say that it's void or set to the side. See, that's what I'm saying. This legal jargon is so slippery. They can make these words and terms mean whatever they want. Yep. Let me go over here. Let's go back to Google. And we're going to do, what does it mean if a trial date is vacated? Wait, court date or trial? I mean, that would be the same thing, right? I mean, there are, court can be anything. A trial is specific, but a court date could be anything relating to any type of court dealings. So that's why I want to specify trial. There you go. When a trial date is vacated, it means that the scheduled court date for the trial has been canceled or removed from the court calendar, essentially postponing the trial to a later date. It is essentially a legal term for setting aside or nullifying the previously set trial date. Not the same as dismissal. While a vacated trial date means the trial is not happening on the scheduled date, it does not necessarily mean the case is being dismissed entirely. It just needs to be rescheduled. All right. So let's go back to that Daily Mail. See if I can pull that up. Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. You can't take the things they say on here for 100%. But I think typically it gives us a good idea. Let's see what that article that we're looking at says. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait, what did I just say just now? Is a journalist? Oh, it's a different one. Okay. So we noticed that it went down from 170 to 120. In September last year, a district judge ruled that the show is not a true story and that Netflix had made no effort to investigate the accuracy of the facts. The judge said that her purported actions are reprehensible, but that the version presented in Baby Reindeer was worse. His ruling said there is a major difference between stalking and being convicted of stalking. Why? Why is that different? It shouldn't be different. You're doing the same act. So it just means you haven't been caught. It doesn't, that shouldn't free you from the crime. That's completely irrelevant if she did it or not. I mean, if she was convicted, I mean. And she should have been convicted. She's not innocent. She's lucky. Now the streamer is hit back with an appeal against that ruling and say that dramatic elements in the show, including the ironic use of the hit happy song Happy Together, should have put the viewer on notice that they were not seeing a drama, which was okay, that doesn't make sense. The song on there is as irrelevant as whether she had actually been convicted or not. In the appeal, lawyers for Netflix write, Harvey's claim is based almost entirely on the fact that the series includes a screen that states this is a true story. Okay. I'm just trying to get an update on the trial. This is just talking about Netflix's defense they're trying to sell to the court. Okay, and this came out today. This said February 28th, 2025. So this is today. So evidently this trial is still on. Netflix lawyers say that if Fiona Harvey's lawsuit is allowed to go ahead, it will undermine GAD's First Amendment, free speech rights, and the rights of studios like Netflix to distribute stories on issues of consider. It's not even that deep. It's just next time, just be more tactful next time. I mean, I'm in agreement with Netflix, but it doesn't take away anybody's rights in the future going forward. Just be more tactful next time. Lesson learned. Harvey claimed that she had been defamed at a... Okay, we know all this. And we know that. Her team say that comparisons between the play and TV series prove that Netflix knew all along that Harvey had never been convicted of. But that's the thing. Fiona Harvey is not in Baby Reindeer. Martha Scott is the character in Baby Reindeer. If it was Fiona Harvey, that was the name of the character in Baby Reindeer, then I'd say, okay, she has a legal, a legitimate point. But this is a fictional character. Yes, the character is based off of Fiona, but it's not Fiona. And on top of that, there are tons of movie and television characters that are actually based on people. Like Kramer from Seinfeld, for example, was based off people. George Costanza on Seinfeld was based off Larry David. George Costanza was not Larry David, but he was based off Larry David. And that's what this is here. So Richard Roth, a New York lawyer who is representing Harvey, has no truck with God's complaints over this experience of fame. He said he brought this on himself. It was not something that was thrust upon him, like what happened with Fiona. He's complaining that he's making money and he's famous. What a poor guy. Give me a break. It's like Beyonce complaining she's famous. Look at the difference with Fiona. She got death threats. Yeah, why did she get death threats? If the death threats were even legitimate in the first place, assuming she didn't write those to herself. Yep. Yep. I'm going through some stuff too. It's just absolute. Someone stole um, something from my mother's property. I reported it to the police. I proved that it was hers. He's selling it on Facebook Marketplace. I filed a report. The police said, no, you have to contact an attorney. The attorney doesn't want to take the case because it's not worth that much money. I mean, probably worth somewhere between 5,000 to 7,000, which is a lot to me, but it's not a lot to an attorney. And the police just push it off and say, you got to talk to an attorney. So he is getting away with it because the police won't do anything and the attorneys are not interested in the case. So yeah, there are loopholes in the law, in the legal system. Yeah, I've seen the death threats. I've seen them. They're on some of the exhibits, but who knows if they're really legitimate death threats or something that she made up. Who knows? Yeah, you can be a criminal. Yeah, you can be a criminal and you just get away with stuff. Yeah, I still may end up taking legal action. It's just one that's one of the multiple things I'm dealing with right now. There's about 4 or 5 different things. That's why I've been so inconsistent on YouTube. Yep. I was going to make a video about that. I just haven't got around to it. And now I need to dig it back up. Because when I downloaded all those documents from Pacer Monitor, I was looking through them, but that was like I don't know, like September or October. So I have to get re-familiar with everything. But I've been going through the declarations all day, and that's why I'm like so tired right now. Yeah, there are things you can do yourself, and then you're just gonna need to pay a court fee or an attorney fee to file it to the court or whatever. But like you can do a lot of the research and stuff yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go over some more. I'm going to go over some more of the Laura Wray Declaration, but I'm going to continue it on another live stream. I think I'm going to try for tomorrow. I'm going to do it earlier. I'm going to go for 1 p.m. my time So that would be 6 p.m. UK time. And I should have more energy because I'm winding down right now, getting ready for bed. Yeah, it's so difficult that and that's another thing. A lot of times it's illegal to record people. Yep. Yep. All right. I am fading out. I think I'm about to go to dreamland soon. I'm gonna go ahead and schedule the live stream and put that up. Maybe it'll get some more people tomorrow because there'll be more advanced notice. So when I get off here, I'm gonna put it on the channel to schedule it. So we're gonna aim for 1 p.m. tomorrow. So hopefully you guys can make it back. And I will see you guys later. Good night.